Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of the Daily Fix. I am your usual host and presenter, Advocate Tudo Hoyani. This gold tooth business has become something of the joke of the town. If the prosecution wants to identify Mncube as the possible shooter who burst in the Kumalo house on the 26th of October 2014 and shot Senzo MEYIWA, and they want to rely on the fact that that shooter had a gold tooth, that is frankly flimsy evidence. Flimsy evidence. Because let us just, for argument's sake, how many people in South Africa have got gold teeth and are probably also light in complexion or dark in complexion? Because remember, we started with accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi. This gold tooth, was it an identifying mark, peculiar or unique to Mncube, such that nobody else would ever or was ever allowed to have a gold tooth? So if you then go by this flimsy and shaky and controversial gold tooth evidence, you might as well arrest all men in South Africa who have got gold teeth and put them in that dog and substitute them with Mncube. In any event, how do we ascertain that the gold tooth that we are seeing in a photograph is the actual gold tooth that Mncube ever had in real life? How do we ascertain that? Now, let us look at Makeleni. You know, Makeleni was the first person who identified this gold tooth outside the Kumalo house shortly after Senzo was killed, because he said he saw people running out of the house, and in one of their mouths, or in one of them's mouths, he spotted a gold tooth at 8:30 p.m. when it was obviously dark in full solar. Makeleni is supposed to be deceased. But up to this point, no post-mortem report or no death certificate rather, of Makeleni has ever been produced before the Pretoria High Court to actually verify that there was somebody called Makeleni, and he has in fact passed away. So we have this, virtually what we can call a story, that this Makeleni, who is now supposed to be deceased, but that the prosecution has conveniently decided not, whose death certificate the prosecution has decided not to put before the court, is that we are bogged down with. So the controversy around the downloading of the photos and all the attendant problems around this gold tooth, I think, are a futile exercise, or they're an exercise in futility, because they will not assist the prosecution. The prosecution should have long called Makeleni, if ever Makeleni existed, to testify in this trial. Or if Makeleni died before this trial commenced, they should have just abandoned that evidence by Makeleni. Because you see, that evidence now becomes prejudicial, because What does the defense do with that statement by Makeleni? A doubtful statement. A statement taken in the middle of, at night when it was pitch dark at 8:30. People come out of the Kumalo house running, and they've just shot Senzo MEYIWA allegedly. You then meet them outside the house. And when you meet them outside the house, you are able to spot a gold tooth in one of their on one of them. And they are at this time around they are running away. These people are running away after the commission of this crime. Is this true? Just how do we deal with something like this? Thank you. In my next video, I will try and look into some of these issues and share them with you. But frankly, they are disgusting and shocking.